it cracked his helmet.
Henderson breaks free. House call for Ohio State. The Buckeyes can begin planning for Pasadena. There is Smith roaming free. Breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly. Caught in stride. Abuka touchdown. Buckeyes on fire. It's a Crimson avalanche here in Pasadena. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up. Ohio State scoop and score. Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it. And Ohio State is going to walk out of Atlanta national champions.
The story gets to get told now, and it's a great story about a bunch of guys who have just overcome some really tough situations. There's a lot of people that counted us out. It's the reason why you get into coaching, to see guys overcome things, learn life lessons, and then reach their dreams.
College football national champion, Coach Ryan Day, and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Guys traveled out west to Seattle, Washington, getting the victory over the previously unbeaten Huskies 24-6. It wasn't the sexiest type of win. It wasn't what we naturally have come to expect over the Ryan Day's tenure, but a dominant defensive performance led the way in this contest, shutting down Damon Williams, taking away his legs, and proving extreme dominance, and then it can win in multiple ways. What are your takeaways defensively, Rob? How did that defense look? My goodness.
I would say that what Matt Patricia is doing is even more impressive now, because we talked about it during our preview that pretty much coaches now have film on Matt Patricia. And the fact that Matt Patricia was able to do what he did in terms of like the red zone defense is just crazy. I mean, he's been scheming up a masterclass each game, and this just was another one of those games where the red zone defense looked elite, and I loved every second of it, man. And hats off to Caden Curry, 11 solo tackles, 5 for a loss. 2 sacks. I mean, he played out of his mind. He's looking like a first rounder. Yes, I said it, first rounder. Caden McDonald got in on the fun. So did Kenyatta Jackson, and of course, I think Bo Atkinson got in as well. It was just an all around slugfest by the defense. And again, it's crazy to me that this red zone defense has not missed a beat since last season.
Man.
And with a new defensive coordinator, dude. So hats off to Matt Patricia. Hats off to this defensive line. I'm not gonna lie, dude. That first drive when what was it? It wasn't Muhammad. Who was the other running back?
Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman broke off that big run. I'm like, oh man, here we go.
34 yards.
They're taking advantage of that, weakness that we saw. But I mean, they only ended up with a total of 61 rushing yards.
Yep,
and the reason why they ended up with that low of rushing yards is because, dude, freaking gosh, where is it? I have the stat. I have the stat right here. Oh yeah. Desmond Williams Jr. negative 28 rushing yards, negative 2.2 average, dude. He got bottled up, put in a blender, you name it. It happened. But dude, like one of the key things, I'm gonna go back to this dude because I'm just really impressed. One of the key things I said that Washington needed to do in order to win this game was find ways to score in the red zone. They were down there at least 4 or 5 times. I mean, they had
a single touchdown.
No touchdowns, had to settle for field goals.
The thing is, man, they came in averaging 55.7 points a game. They got 6 yesterday. They came in averaging 530 yards per game and only collected 234 yards yesterday versus the Buckeye defense. Like, that's pure dominance. There were so many people talking about how Williams is going to exploit the Buckeye defense, how Boston's going to go over the top in the secondary. and especially how Coleman is gonna rip through this Buckeye defense. And like you said, that first drive it looked promising for Coleman on the ground, but honestly, outside of that, he finished with 65 yards total rushing for the game. They completely adjusted at halftime, took him out of the game absolutely, and he was a non-factor in the second half.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
it was impressive.
I completely forgot that he was even playing for the
Yeah,
Washington Huskies. But dude, like,
seriously,
also hats off to Caleb Downs, man. I mean, that dude is a generational safety.
leader of
He's
the D.
he's one of the best open field tacklers that I've
Yep,
seen. He made some tackles that saved Washington from getting some
sure.
touchdowns and breaking long runs, dude. So hats off to him. I mean, but overall, man, what I like what I'm seeing is, yes, Matt Patricia is taking over, a Jim Knowles defense, but he's adding a spin on to it, and the
Yep,
spin is being able to pressure and sack the quarterback more. I mean, like, dude,
from those edges
look
and the
look at this
linebacker.
look at it this way, man. In 2022, the person with the player with the most sacks was Jack Sawyer, 5.5, and
Right.
that was I think the total for the year was like 8. I mean, dude, they got 5 in one game.
6.
5
You had
6
6
yeah,
yesterday.
6 sacks in one
Yeah,
game, man, and
yeah,
dude, I love how they were able to put an effective spy on
yeah.
Williams Jr. I mean, they
Seriously.
bottled him up. They, basically what happened is, yes, they did the whole Jim Knowles thing waiting, back, but at the same time that they made him flush from the pocket and step up. Then you have Alvaro Reese or Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles there to pick him up because they were the spy. So really effective game plan by Matt Patricia. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, that's what made it so amazing. We kept varying the spies, whether, like you said, it was Styles or Reese or somebody else or Downs. He just couldn't use his legs effectively, and that's one thing I was really worried about entering this contest. Washington was just a mere 1 for 11 on third downs. I think that's the key statistic of the game and why Ohio State won. They're able to get off the field on third downs. They're able to shut them down inside the red zone once they got there. And I mean, you're doing that. That's winning and championship defensive football right there. Period.
Yeah.
Buckeye silver
And
bullets are back in a fierce way.
the great thing about that is the fact that they couldn't stay on the field and convert those third downs. That means their defense is right back on the field and they're getting tired. And it showed, man. It showed. I mean, at times Washington was controlling the time possession, but at the end of the day, we're gonna get to that though. Ohio State
Yeah,
ended
buddy.
up controlling the time possession for at least half the game, dude. There's 60 minutes in a game. Ohio State had 31 minutes of time possession. Now, Washington controlled the time possession for 28 minutes, but the score says
Mhm.
otherwise. They couldn't find ways to convert in
Couldn't
the
do
red zone.
anything.
Had to settle for field goals, and then the run game was almost non-existent. The passing game in the second half was almost non-existent. I think they were in the red zone at least once or twice more than that. Then other than that, they couldn't do much.
It was a tale of two halves for sure, man. Because although yes, Washington was getting down the field, it seemed in the first half, they only had 3 points to show for it, and obviously winning the game and just giving up 6 points, man. This is the first time since 1973 that Ohio State's played 4 games and has not given up double digits points. That's back to the Woody Hayes era. That's a long time. This is an impressive defense. This is your nation's number one defense right now.
And red
And
zone defense,
it's really
dude.
fun to see them attack, dude. It's really, really fun. They can do it in various ways, getting the quarterback, like you said, with Reese on the blitz or with our edges finally again. It's amazing to see that. And Larry Johnson, once again, no, he never lost his edge. He never lost his ability to coach. People need to apologize to him because he is a stud. And I never lost faith in that dude. And he's coaching up dudes that are not the elite 5 of the 5 stars and are getting home against these amazing quarterbacks and amazing offensive lines. So
You know,
impressive defensively. Woo.
I I will say that it's time to give Matt Patricia an apology from
Also that too.
a lot of different fan bases, man. Because after the Texas win, it was like, oh, Arch Manning's not a really competent quarterback. Okay, like they just went against Desmond Williams Jr., who is balling out before this game. Can we just say that Matt Patricia is who he is, and that's an elite coordinator, an elite schemer, and he's got this defense humming. Man, I mean, this is a championship caliber defense with
Absolutely.
a lot of. The impressive thing is this is a lot of NFL scheming right here, and you're able to do this with college players. That's truly impressive. Again, the reason why this is a championship caliber defense is the red zone, the best red zone defense in all of college football. It's not even close. You can't convince me otherwise.
They stood up in that red zone again, and they're phenomenal. They're gonna be a lot of fun to watch, man. They're gonna carry this team really far, and as well. It's time. I mean, if you didn't already have championship expectations, it's really time to get on board with this Buckeye team because you can win with an efficient offense and a next level defense. Switching to the offensive side of things, Sagan once again dials it in 22 of 28, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the most important thing, no turnovers on the road. In his first collegiate start, there were a little bit of caution of how he might perform on the road in his first collegiate start. He answered that pretty well, in my opinion. I mean, he was slicing and dicing. Just an efficient day from Julian Sain. Not an explosive day, but a very efficient day.
I mean, he was 22 for 28, 208
Yeah.
yards and 2 touchdowns. And here's the thing, man. I know there's a lot of criticism online about, okay, why are you keeping the leash on? Why are you babying him? So, dude, he's not nobody's babying him. I mean, they gave him opportunities to sustain drives and played to his strengths. I mean, dude is the most accurate passer in all of college football. When you need him for 2nd and 6 or 3rd and 4, he's there to put the ball right on the money and be able to sustain drives and take the time off the clock, which, remember the Kyle McCord years, that's what we're missing. So when people want to say, oh, okay, like his long ball is not there yet, but it's like, dude, like if he can get those pickups when we need them, get those first downs when we need to
Keep those chains moving.
take off more clock, get the chains moving, he's there. And that first drive of the 3rd quarter is what sold me on Ryan Day's vision for Julian Sain. I mean, he's calling upon him to be able to get these short gains, sustained drives. They took 8 minutes off the clock, and he was a big reason for it. Because it's just like, okay, we got 5-7 yards on the first 2 downs. Okay, it is 3rd and 4. Okay, we're gonna let Julian Sain do something. He delivered each time, man. He's a great game manager. He's extremely accurate. He is that dude, can make any throw, and I just don't think he's getting enough credit and enough respect for it.
Yeah, you might be right on that. I mean, he hits his receivers in stride, and he's able to get those yak as a result because that's one thing that Will Howard struggled with at times last year, just hitting his receivers in stride. They had to stop or adjust the ball. Sain's ball just comes out perfectly, even with men in his face. That's one thing I noticed in the Texas game as well as yesterday. In the few instances that our O-line actually let somebody through, because let's be honest, there's only been 1 sack on Sain through 4 games. In the few instances that he's had dudes in his face, he impromptus and adjusts and contorts his body and finds a way to get to the receiver in stride, and it's very impressive. He doesn't panic. He doesn't seem flustered when a dude comes rushing at him. And that's incredible to see for such a young quarterback. I'm really impressed with his efficient day, and I look forward to seeing more and more from him. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith led the way, receiving with 8 catches, 81 yards, and that crucial touchdown right before half on 3rd and 11. How about that wide receiver middle screen? That was amazing. And then Bo Jackson led the way yesterday with 17 carries for 80 yards. An efficient day, not too explosive. But he's a tough runner, man. Like he's clearly RB1 now. He had twice the carries that our second leading rusher got. Donaldson had 9. So
yeah, on that cross ground for Jeremiah Smith, that was a great play call by Brian Hartline and Ryan Day. I mean, it was third and I think 7 or so.
3rd and
They
11.
Yeah, 3rd and 11. They knew that more than likely Washington was going to bring the house, and they made him pay for it, man.
Yeah.
They let
You,
all the pass rushers through. They got Jeremiah Smith the ball wide open. He was just you're not stopping that train when it's rolling down the tracks. And also I I really liked the game plan on offense for the sustained drives, because if you're going to stop this high-powered running offense, you need fresh bodies. And those 8-minute drives, those 7-minute drives, you're gonna keep the you're gonna be able to keep the offense fresh. I mean, because dude, we were talking about this before we even got on here. It's just like you score quick, your defense is right on the field. And it's like, dude, they're gonna get tired. I mean, you need to sustain drives, keep these bodies fresh, especially if an offense's main main attack is on the ground.
yeah, it was amazing, man. Can you imagine had we had to settle for a field goal there at the end of the first half, and it goes in literally 3-3 at the half, but instead we get that touchdown, convert that huge third down, get into the end zone, and go to the locker room with all the momentum. I think it completely deflated Washington. Like, they played their best half that they could have played and still went in the locker room trailing.
And
And I think that was extremely deflating for them.
yeah, I think the other thing that was extremely deflating with them is not only that they go into the locker room down 7-3 at the half, but then they get complete like
Yeah,
had to deal with an 8-minute drive,
right. Just start the second half. Yeah.
come back out there, not do much, and then the defense is right on the field, man. After that 8-minute drive, and just like, there's only like 7 minutes on the clock left in the third quarter. Just like, okay, your offense isn't doing much. I knew the game was over, man.
How about one thing we haven't touched on yet? How about the Jed Fish decision, up 3-0, to go for the fake field goal? Give me your thoughts on that one real quick.
It looked like a bit of a miscommunication. It looks like the tight end thought it was a run, so he was, doing his little run block, and it just like, I think that was just poorly executed, just miscommunications on all ends, and it cost him. It gave Ohio State short field. Wasn't that where they were able to go down the field and score?
Yep, that's when we
Yeah.
went down and took the lead right after that.
They paid for it, man. It's just like,
Yep.
thing is, like, he's a seasoned head coach.
Yeah.
He's been under some of the best head coaches in all of college football. And you're in a big game like this. I know to me, that kind of says, I don't know if we're gonna win this game, so I'm gonna pull out all the stops.
You just read my freaking mind. As you were speaking, an Urban quote came to my mind that says exactly what you just said. You bust out trick plays when I don't think we can beat you straight up. And at that point, it was still early. They had control of the game. And then Jed Fish still didn't quite believe they could beat Ohio State straight up head to head. He pulled it out. It backfired.
I could understand if it was like, the fourth quarter, 7 minutes left or whatever. And you're just like, okay, we need to do whatever we need to do to get out here with the win. But that's just not it, man. What was it? Was that before the halftime that happened?
Yep, that was the first half. Yep.
Yeah, to me that's saying like, okay, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do much on offense. Their defense is really stout. We can't beat them straight up, so we're gonna pull out all the stops, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's basically it.
A dominant win for Ohio State on the road defensively, and 24-6. Man, you can't really ask for a better performance than that, because there were some prognosticators thinking maybe Washington will give Ohio State a challenge here. Maybe they'll be in this game late, but anybody who really looked at this game analytically said they have some playmakers. They just don't have the depth to keep up with Ohio State, and that's ultimately what played out. Moving on to there were other two amazing games right after this contest.
Wait,
We'll talk Oregon.
Peter. Before we move on to that, I got one more thing. In terms of the running back room now, in what order? Obviously, Bo Jackson is number one.
Yeah.
What orders after that? Who do you think is?
Donaldson definitely. People's just getting spot duty now. So
yeah, man. All right,
he's getting spot duty. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality of the Ohio State. You got to perform, or you're sliding down the depth chart. So
yeah,
But yeah, like I was saying, multiple amazing contests last night. Honestly, even Friday night as well as Florida State and TCU fell. But we're going to talk Oregon, Penn State right now. The whiteout lived up to the hype, the noise anyway. It always lives up to the hype noise-wise. But against these elite of the elite teams, man, they never get the win. Franklin just can't do it, man. He cannot get over that hump.
Dude,
4-21 now versus top 10 opponents. That's beyond pathetic. Like, that's absolutely pathetic. And there's no hope. This was, you set it up last week when we were talking about this contest, man. Like, if he can't get it done now, when he has everything in his favor, when is he ever going to get it done? We know he's not going to beat Ohio State later this year. That's not happening. In Columbus, no way.
Yeah.
Why did Penn State lose this game? Why did they have 3 points entering the fourth quarter?
Dude, I would say that, this crossed my mind. I'm like, you clearly don't have an issue on defense. It's always been offense these years. You've made the stops, but you can only get those stops so many times until your defense tires out because your offense can't put up more points. And that's basically like what happened. I mean, dude, the Oregon finished the contest with over 400 passing yards. We see over total yards. We've seen this before. Ohio State fans are not a stranger to Jim Knowles not being efficient on third down, not even fourth down, dude. And the thing was, I'm sorry, man, I laughed so, dude. The game ended so abruptly. Dante Moore hits one of the wide receivers for a touchdown. They're able
First
to get
play,
the
second OT,
conversion. And then Drew Aller just throws it. The safety is in a disguised coverage, and he just jumps up and picks off the ball. The game ended so abruptly. The stadium was quiet. They cut to James Franklin. He's like, and it's just too funny, man. Another dude, here's the thing. James Franklin has told you who he was since the beginning. After, he rode Barkley's coattails all the way to however long. And then all of a sudden, he's making these boneheaded plays. 2018 against Ohio State, runs it on, 4th and 4 going in Chase Young's direction. The year before that, choked against Ohio State. And then, you lose to Michigan, you lose to Ohio State. I mean, last season, nothing changed against Ohio State. They ran it 3 times. You're getting a half inch each time. You probably run it again. You score. And thank God he's an idiot when it comes to play calling, because through it, and that cost him the game. So it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know how these Penn State fans do it year in, year out. I mean, even my wife, Sarah's a Penn State fan. And she's like, you know what, Rob? It's just another day being a Penn State fan. That's why I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
So
you have no expectations to win those games, and you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. It's just the fact of the matter. Like, people kept on saying, I saw it online last night before I went to bed. It's like, he has to win one of these eventually, right? No, he doesn't. And he's proven he doesn't.
Anything. He hasn't changed anything, though. It was,
there's no adjustment.
We were all saying that, okay, he's in the position that Ryan Day was. Win some big games, and just like, dude, at least Ryan Day has showed some improvement as the season went on in terms of being more gutsier and calling the right plays and just having the right personnel and just. James Franklin has been James Franklin since day one. He's not changing.
Yeah. You have 2 of the best running backs in the nation and a 5-star quarterback who's shown no growth, by the way, throughout his collegiate career. Had 1 good big game last year in Indy and has done absolutely nothing else in any of the big games he's played in. Just shrinks in the big moment, just like his head coach. Don't understand why they don't recruit better offensive linemen, because they always have elite running backs. They just don't. They don't. They brought in 3 weapons for Aller, and he couldn't do a single thing with them. He looked paltry yesterday trying to throw the football. He looked intimidated.
That was such a terrible throw as well, man. I mean, he didn't put it up high enough. It was like he was trying to throw a dart when it's like, dude, you gotta loft it to that the tight end. Like, dude,
Hmm.
try to throw it on a straight line. You can't do that, dude. He was wide open as well, man. That's a back shoulder throw at the highest point at least.
Yep.
And he tried to throw it on a rope.
Put
And
it more towards the
the
sideline and put it where only your guy can catch it.
the
That's not what
fun,
he did.
Peter, the funny thing about that last pick is that's the exact defense that Jim Knowles ran against Oregon in the Rose Bowl, where Caleb Downs is creeping in disguise coverage
Man,
and then just jumps up and is able to pick off the ball, dude. Like acting like he's spying the quarterback. He's put a spy in the quarterback in case some type of run, disguise coverage, and that's to me. I mean, dude, it was so quiet there, man. And the most to me, I don't know if this makes any sense. The most disrespectful thing is Oregon won in a whiteout wearing all white jerseys, dude.
yep, yep, yep. It's pretty funny, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody, in my opinion, everybody knew Oregon was going to win this game, man. Like, I don't think there were many that truly actually believed Penn State was going to come out victorious in this contest. And, credit to them for even getting into overtime because they looked like they didn't even belong in the same field as Oregon for most of that football contest. They somehow came alive offensively in the fourth quarter, forced overtime. But even then, I said, there's no way in hell Penn State wins this contest, dude.
You know, can,
And so,
can we finally say that Jim Knowles was somewhat not responsible for the defensive turnaround in the college football playoffs for Ohio State last season? I mean, dude, they couldn't get off the field on third down. I don't think they stopped him one. Dude, I just it's pretty much the same thing, man. Like, couldn't get off the field on third down. Uh, Oregon converted almost every fourth down, dude. They couldn't.
didn't have a single sack.
They couldn't contain. Yeah, no sacks, no pressures, just the same thing. And dude, I even said it, man. Okay,
They do.
this Oregon game is the eye test to see who's really responsible for the turnaround. And to me, like Jim Knowles, yes, in terms of points, but I don't know, man. To me, he didn't pass the eye test, dude. I mean, you gave another game against an offense with a big pulse, over 400 yards, dude.
Yeah.
And you're right,
Big plays. They didn't give up a lot of points, but they gave up a lot of yards. That's for dang sure. And Jim Knowles he's
really
not the
complex
answer yet.
It's a really
He'll have
complex
them humming.
system.
He'll have them humming by year 3 if he gets the opportunity. But we'll see how they continue on. There's no way Penn State comes to the horseshoe in November and beats Ohio State. They're not a contender for the Big Ten. They might make the playoffs at 10-2. We'll see. They got to play. They got some other contests coming up as well. But switching to the other festivities last night, Georgia hosting Alabama for the first time since 2015, and they blow it again. They are clearly the superior team. There's no question about that they are the better team. Nobody questions that. And yet they still can't beat Alabama. They never trailed in that contest yesterday. Not once. Not for a single second. And Alabama had control from the kickoff to the final whistle. They take it to Georgia again in their house, in front of their home fans. Ty Simpson, where did this guy come from? I still don't know if he's actually that good, but he was phenomenal yesterday. Totally different quarterback than whoever showed up in an Alabama starting quarterback versus Florida State to start the year. They just have that mental edge, man, and I have to laugh at them just like I laugh at Jim Franklin. I am laughing hysterically at Kirby Smart because he cannot get over the hump.
And Georgia had a big chance to take the lead with 3 minutes left in the fourth. But what a wide receiver dropping a wide open touchdown tells me? That your coach's energy is rubbing off on you, and that's causing you to play tight.
Yep.
Like, you can just tell that Kirby Smart's demeanor whenever he steps on the field with Alabama is just completely different than he would step on the field with anybody else, man. It's
Yep.
like no matter what, no matter who the coach is, no matter who the players are, Alabama could be in a wait. They were in a pretty much almost rebuild mode, a brand new coach last season, and they still lost. And this season, dude, look, man. I just don't know when Kirby Smart is gonna get it done against Alabama again. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, they lost like I just don't know, man. This I was like, dude, this has to be the year. This has to be they're at home. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're the better team on paper. We don't
Yeah.
know what Alabama's gonna finish the season. I
We
could
don't.
see Georgia, making the playoffs and the SEC championship game again. But in terms of that, dude,
Yeah.
there's literally no excuse why Georgia should have lost this game other than, Kirby Smart. You ever see his face on the sideline, dude? It's someone who's just like he looks haunted by
Yep.
the past loss against Alabama. It's a mental thing, dude. And us Ohio State fans
We're
should
getting
understand the
accustomed to
most
it.
because Ryan Day has the same thing against Michigan. He
Yeah.
sees is just haunted by the loss of the past, man. Just can't find a way to move forward.
Yep. The pressure of that contest is definitely getting to Kirby. Do I think it's going to have an effect on the rest of the season? Probably not. They maybe should win the remainder of the regular season games, and they should probably be favored in every one of them. But he's now 1-7 versus the Tide. Doesn't matter that Saban's been gone for 2 years now. Kalen DeBoer, I think he's honestly leading a declining program, but maybe I need to rethink that after the win, or maybe it literally is just that simple that Alabama believes they're going to win that contest, and Georgia lacks confidence in that particular matchup.
Yeah,
I think it really is just that simple.
here's the rest of Georgia's schedule. October 4th, they're at Kentucky. The following week,
So,
I think they host. Wait, let me see. Well, no, they're home against Kentucky. The next week, they're at Auburn, and then they host number 4 Ole Miss. That should be a really good
man, what a
game.
big jump for the
They
Rebels.
travel to Gainesville to take on Florida. Then they travel to Mississippi State, and then they have Texas at home.
That'll be fun.
They have Charlotte at home, and
Jeez.
then they travel to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is looking really good this season. So you know what?
Well,
You know what, dude? I could see Georgia Tech getting a redemption from last season. Georgia Tech should have beat Georgia
yeah,
last season, dude.
they had them dead to
100%.
rights.
Yeah, they had him dead to rights, dude. So
There's two potential losses remaining in that schedule. It's Texas and Georgia Tech. So we'll see how they fare the rest of the way. They should be the
you don't,
favorites for the SEC, but
you don't think
uh,
Ole Miss can beat Georgia?
no, because I don't think very highly of LSU. I don't
No,
think highly.
wait,
I think
talk about Ole
L-
Miss, dude. Ole Miss.
I
Ole
no
Miss.
no no. I'm saying I don't think Ole Miss's win was that impressive yesterday. Is
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying over LSU. I think
Okay.
they should have beaten LSU. I don't think they have a prayer against Georgia. No way. Not Lane Kiffin, dude. Lane Kiffin, come on, bro. No. No, no, no. They're not going to be competing for the SEC championship. They're number 4 right now, and hats off, respect to them. They're not playing for an SEC championship, bro.
Oh, they
They're
do
just
travel
not.
to Georgia, so you're more than likely right, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see there's any way Ole Miss even competes in that contest, actually. But maybe I'll prove them wrong. I did watch a decent amount of that game yesterday, but fascinating weekend, man. A lot of ranked teams fell. The AP poll looks really different than it did entering the weekend. We saw the Seminoles knocked off. USC got beaten by Illinois. Just a lot of fun matchups as we saw throughout the weekend, and it really shook things up. And it was exciting. It lived up to the hype. This is definitely the best weekend so far of the young college football season. But we have to come to grips, man. The season is a third of the way over. That sucks, but it's the reality.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that'll do it for this one. Go Bucks and God bless. We'll see you on the next one.
OH.
Hi-oh.